Hello everyone, it's Nick Lawson with CDC Take Charge Software, and this is our second installment of how to build a Powerball number generator in Alpha Software. As I stated in the last session, today we would look at the actual process for generating the random numbers and how to take and write code that will parse through the actual numbers and identify any matches. So to remember how it works, let's go back to our number generator. And here you go. First, as you can see, we already have some random numbers generated over here. So in this particular list, let's see if we have any matches. So here, button 5 on our form says show matches. If we click it, it's going to turn the white balls blue, and it's going to intensify the white circle on the red. Okay, there you go. We have 2 matches here, and that is not a winner. We have 2 matches here, that's not a winner. We have 2 go down this way, that's not a winner, and just 1 over here, which is not a winner. So no particular winners on this particular group of numbers. Now, let's say we want to rechange or rerun the randomization. So if we click our button down here, randomize numbers, it goes through and regenerates a new list. When it does that, it automatically checks to see if there are any matches in the winning numbers. In which case, in here, there aren't any. So let's try it again. There you go. We have a win right here for $4. So far, we spent $6. We only won $4. So we're $2 in the hole. Try it again. Still no win. Still no win. And no win again. No win again. No win again. No win again. We are not doing very good on this group of numbers. Oh, we had a win right there for 31. Okay, and nope. 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 Yay! We got a winner here. We have a winner here. But that's it. Okay, so now let's look at how that's done. I've got the code written out here in Notepad. First thing you need to do, what we want to do is we want to make sure that if the person has entered the winning numbers, that the form is committed. So we do that first. Then each field is assigned a label, and it starts with RD for random number 1, random number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, right on down the list until you get to the Powerballs. And those are called random red ball 1, random red ball 2, random red ball 3, red ball 4, and so forth and so on. To generate a random number in Alpha Software, you use the function rand, R-A-N-D. Now, rand will always return the same value when run if it has no multiplier attached to it. So in this case, for the white balls, we want the numbers to populate using values from 1 to 59. So we put times 59 on the rand, and we don't want any decimal places, so we want it to round up to 0 decimals, comma 0. When you do that, that will actually return values from 0 to 59. So we have to take and have some code that will take and deal with the zeros, because in Powerball there is no zeros. So here you go. It says we set the variable to v1. v1 round random times 59 comma 0. If v1 equals 0, go to rd1. So basically what we're doing is creating a little loop. So if the first time it goes through it hits 0, it goes back and runs it again. If it hits 0 again, it runs it again and runs it again and runs it again until it gives us a value between 1 and 59. Then it writes in the answer. In that case, it was 10. All right, next, it goes to the next value, which would be this ball over here. So V2 rand 59 times, or rand times 59 comma 0. If V2 equals 0 or V2 equals V1, then go to round 2. So now we have to look at both the V1 value and 0. Because if we're generating a row of numbers, in the Powerball bucket, when it spins, the numbers are not repeated. So there's only 59 balls in the bucket, and they'll be 1 through 59. So if we've already pulled number 10, if 10 comes up again, we have to respin the dial. Pretty simple. We do the same thing on 3. All right, now we take and we look at if 3 is equal to 0, or it's equal to 1, or it's equal to 2, then we rerun it. And the same thing goes all the way across. Now, over here, when you're in the second row, this would be random draw number 6. No, I'm sorry, number 7, because you have 5, 6, and then 7. Here, not only do we have to match to make sure that it's not 0 or number 6, but it also cannot be number 2, and because we're creating a diagonal line, it cannot be number 1. So let's go down and take a look at that. So here we are, number 7. Okay, so we're saying that once we randomize the number, if 7 equals 0, or 7 equals 1, or 7 equals 2, or 7 equals 6, then rerun our randomization. See how that works? It gets even more complicated when you get down here to the third row and you're on, that'd be 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's look at that one. At 13, it's if it equals 0, or it equals 1, or it equals 3, or it equals 5, or it equals 7, or it equals 8, or it equals, hold on, 9, 11, or 12, you have to respin the dial. And again, because we can't have any duplicates, and at this point, we're now matching numbers going this way, this way, this way, and this way. It's a lot of matches to deal with. So, and then it continues to grow as you go along. You can see over here in the code that the randomization grows. Then it drops back down as you get to a new row, grows again, and gets, more and more complicated. But this is a simple way to do it, a simple loop. And then stating in here that using the OR condition, that it cannot equal any of the values before. Now, it could also be done by building an array of possible values and parsing through the array and finding the matches and then throwing it out and telling it to start over again. It could also be done by writing a function that would then pass the values for each field and keep parsing until it finds a unique value. I wrote it this way because to me this is very simple to do. Now the red balls work a little bit differently. First of all, the numbers for the red balls are 1 through 35 rather than 1 through 59. So we change our randomizer multiplier. The other thing is it doesn't matter if there's any duplicate numbers in here because there's only one ball picked and we're creating a red ball for each of our choices. And each choice is unique in its own right. So whether there's a duplicate here and over here doesn't really matter. So we don't have to do all that other stuff. It's simply a matter of equaling 0. Then if it is, rerun it because again we can't have zeros. Now we want to take and set the values. We've done our randomization and we set them all to our variables V1 through V25 because we have 25 possible number choices or 25 possible ping pong balls. So we then go through and we set them to our form name and then the name of the value. Powerball 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, right on down the list. Then we do the same thing with the red balls. Only we're using now red ball 1, red ball 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 12. Then, see right here where it says push button 5? Button 5 is where we have the code that identifies all the matches. So let's look at how that's done. Now I'm going to take and expand our code page here so you can see the whole thing, because it's pretty big. We still can't see the whole thing. Basically what we're doing is we go to our pb1-1 or underscore 1.text, and we're saying that it equals the actual number 1, or it equals actual number 2, or it equals actual number 3, actual number 4, or actual number 5. If so, set the fill color for the text object surrounding the variable for ball 1 to pale blue. Now the text object is just a text object that I put on a screen, and I made it oval in shape and set it round and set it so that it's white on a dirty white gradiated background, so that it looks like a ping pong ball. Well, sort of like a ping pong ball. Now you could take and actually use real images. The internet's going to be full of them if you wanted to do that. For the purposes of this training session, I didn't, but you would set the image to equal the white ping pong ball, and then if it matches, you would set it to equal a blue ping pong ball. The same way, we've done plenty of lessons on how to control property values, so if you're not sure what to do there, just take and look it up in one of the previous lessons. Same thing with the red balls. You can take and get images and swap the images based on a match or a non-match, or leave it the way it is, the way I wrote it. Now that's pretty much it. So it's pretty simple. If you get right down to it, it's just tedious. So when you're writing tedious code, always remember to check it, because as you can see, this is a lot to write, and it can be a real pain in the butt if you write it and you make a simple mistake and you do all this and it's wrong. Then you got to go through, find your error, and fix it, and maybe update all the way down the page. So test it every time you write a deal. Go back, rerun your form, and make sure it's working okay. Save you a lot of trouble and a lot of headaches down the road. Well, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you found this interesting. And one more time, let's see if we can win any more money. No, it doesn't look like it. So there's a win right there. But that's it. All we're getting is little $4 wins today. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. On our next lesson, what we'll be looking at is the trend analysis, and how to take and look at what numbers show up the most and what groups of numbers show up the most, allowing the user to have a more informed decision when they decide to pick their numbers. Once again, thanks a lot and have a great day.